Rutgers took game 1, and they are looking to take game 2. And if they're able to win game 2, they will successfully end their group stage going 2-2, which will be good enough to get them into the bracket stage of the tournament. Quick pause, and we're back in the game. So last game we saw Rutgers build a pick comp and really double down on that, and they were able to execute it properly despite UCC who was able to get a strong early game advantage. We saw Leo Leon 500 playing around that top side very heavily and was able to get that Darius 2 or 3 kills in the early game despite not being able to convert that into the win. On the other side, we saw Who What Where on the Shyvana taking down 4 dragons in the game and playing into the late game with that team, getting those picks, turning the game around at Baron, and securing that win. This time, we're seeing 2 very different team comps. Picks and bans went a little weird with an unsure ruling on Silas, which led to a kind of a time crunch pick. And so the UCC team is actually looking like, and then I'm actually seeing that the scores are reversed. UCC is on the red side, and they are not up 1-0. They are down 0-1. And Rutgers is on the blue side and is up 1-0. Now that that's updated, looking at the team comps of both teams, we see Rutgers with a little bit more of a wombo combo base team. You have that Violed into the Yasuo, into the Ziggs ult. A lot of damage going on to that single target. To deal with that, UCC drafted into a Lulu, also drafted something a little bit more mobile with the LeBlanc, so that if one target does get ulted by Vi, they are able to deal with that. Great trade by Big Daddy, able to chunk out that Yasuo, popping his Corrupting Pot, able to heal that up, while Yasuo is out of pots and almost out of health. Looks like a fight over the scuttle. Vi and Zach in the Dragon Pit, forcing a flash out of the Vi. Looks like UCC is going to be able to get that scuttle. Vi going up to her blue side, knowing that she cannot get that scuttle. That will give UCC control of that bottom river. And we do see Leo Leon 500 walking through that mid lane, not doing anything with that, just saying hello to the other mid laner as he walks towards his Raptors. Vi will go straight for that topside crab, making sure that they do control one of the river sides, but and instead skipping her blue buff. Looks like the bot side of Rutgers with a very unique pick that I have not talked about yet, with the Ezreal support and Ziggs ADC. I'm assuming the idea of this is to really poke that UCC team and try and exert as much pressure in that bot lane. Seeing how they were able to exert a lot of pressure using the Jhin Nami last game, they want to double down on that and said, well, if you were getting pressured by Jhin Nami, how would you fare against something super pokey like Ezreal and Ziggs? You can see they're going to be pushing UCC in for most of the game. Ziggs going to be trying to get that turret damage. But overall, UCC playing relatively well, down 4 CS. But as time goes on, I'm sure we will see Rutgers try and press that CS lead. Miraki going very aggressive, getting poked out by that Ezreal. And in the top lane, another fight. The lifesteal by Big Daddy. And in the mid lane, there are fights all over. Zach going for the gank, not going to work out for them. 3 fights going on and no kills, as everybody's able to back up safely. We are seeing a large CS lead in the mid lane for Rutgers, who are up 10 CS, and a big fight in the bot lane. Force heal flash out of The Rutgers side forced Flash, Heal, and Ignite from UCC, so in the end of it, everybody's chunked, and Rutgers is up 1 Summoner Spell. And we're actually seeing a 1k gold lead just under that on the side of Rutgers, made up mostly from that farm lead that we are seeing in bot lane, mid lane, and in the jungle. So even though Leo Leon was able to win that early fight in the river, not able to clear as fast as Vi, and because of that failed gank attempt in the mid lane, slowing him down a little bit, he is going to be behind in gold. We're going to see a big reset by Rutgers as the bot lane and the jungler all back, and UCC is going to see that and take their opportunity to back as well. Ziggs getting a big item spike in the Lost Chapter. Kaisa getting a pickaxe and a handful of wards. Really, they're going to be very safe against this Vi, especially before they get to team fighting stage where that Vi is going to be looking for any opportunity to ult and doesn't really need the damage when the rest of her team is there. In the laning phase, when they see her coming, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Vi to get that kill without that follow-up damage of the rest of her abilities. So this bot lane does look pretty oppressive on the side of Rutgers. They're really able to zone UCC out and able to kind of perma-push against them. And it's surprising, especially with the lack of vision, that we haven't seen Leo Leon even try and gank this lane. Zach on the top side of the map, looking to maybe go for a lane gank by hiding in the bush of the top side. And we'll see if Big Daddy's able to bait this out. Looks like he's going for a fight right now. Yasuo does get the ult. Here comes the Zac. And the ultimate comes in there. Silas steals the Yasuo ult, but not enough damage, although they do force the flash and ignite out of that Yasuo. In the mid lane, LeBlanc trading with that Vladimir. We are seeing that Zac just deal a lot of damage and a lot of poke. However, I will say that Miraki's been doing a good job of stopping the bleeding, keeping that CS lead down, and Lunatic going for a solo kill just barely misses it. We'll see if he can get the trade here. Meanwhile, topside's also fighting. Looks like the Yasuo or the Vi will be able to take out the Silas, but the lifesteal comes in, and it may not be enough. It looks like some BM from the Vi. And Silas actually kills the Vi after the BM comes out. That lifesteal and the damage with just enough mana to get that solo kill. Great stuff by Big Daddy. Mid lane, we're seeing a lot of damage come onto the Kaisa. The Kaisa walks up, and it might be enough damage to kill from the Ziggs. And no, she will survive the Ignite. One more tick might do it. And the flash by the Ziggs into safety. Leo Leon not able to secure that kill. They're chasing him now. LeBlanc not in the mid lane, unable to get that kill. The Ziggs will die. Miraki sleeps. Leo Leon all extremely low, but all will survive. And they'll all live to see another day. Looking for the reset on the bot side now. And one of the things we see this game that we weren't really seeing last game as much, especially as we approach closer to the mid game, is that forward vision that we see Zac have on the Vi. As we see the Vi's red is warded, the river leading up to the dragon is warded, and it looks like UCC's really taking note of the shortcomings they had with not getting any dragons last game and looking to fix that by securing more vision. And like I was saying before, we saw Ziggs, and we saw Ezreal perma-shoving the Wayne bot lane, and Leo Leon was able to see that, was able to take advantage of that, and was able to net them a kill and relieve some of that pressure. Lunatic looking for another solo kill in the mid lane. hitting Lunatic with the autos. The the chain comes in, not enough damage, and Vlad actually might find a solo kill onto the LeBlanc instead. Lunatic overextending just barely and dying for it. So it looks like Rutgers is afraid of a gank. They were warding it, and it looks like they might shove this in. Because they have that ward, they might feel a little bit safe, not knowing that Leo Leon is in that brush and has been there before the ward came out. We'll see what happens here. If they go for damage on the tower, that's when we're going to see the Zac come in. The Arcane Shift comes in. He's able to, to knock him back in. The Ziggs ult comes in. The Lulu ult and the Zac ult. And looks like Ezreal actually will survive. Meanwhile, on the top side, that Vi is there with the Yasuo taking out Big Daddy. He will not be able to survive this. And the Ezreal will pop the Zac passive. He will not die, but it looks like it's a 1-for-1 trade. Each jungler ganking the bot and top side respectively. And netting a kill for their team. UCC will start this dragon here. They don't have to be afraid of Ziggs ult, but he still has that poke, and mid lane is shoved against Lunatic. We see Vladimir walking towards the dragon. It looks like he might be a little late, and I think they're going to concede this dragon, hand it over to UCC. And if you do the math, you'll realize that you can multiply the number of dragons UCC got last game by any number, and it would be less than this game. So off to a great start. Vi responds by taking the Rift Herald, and again, we're seeing the jungler from Rutgers, Who What Where, is responding really well to the actions that Leo Leon is taking. Anytime that he takes an objective or goes for a gank, we're seeing Who What Where act on the opposite side of the map to even the scales. So we see Leo Leon go for a gank bot and succeed, and we see Vi ganking the Sylas and netting a kill there. We see Leo Leon taking the dragon, and the Vi goes for the Rift Herald and secures that. Vladimir going for Zac's jungle. Will get caught out with the Zac, but it looks like he'll just walk away. But we do see a collapse from the Sylas as well. He's able to land the CC. Using Vi ult to stop him, and it looks like, ooh, a nice two-man ult by Vlad, but it will not help him out. He will die regardless, and UCC will push out this mid lane, maybe get a couple plates while they still can. We're a minute before that, 14-minute mark where those plates will die. We're going to get one plate from Lunatic, and we're also seeing Leon 500 try and take that Raptor camp away from the Vi. It does not succeed. And bot lane, meanwhile, does lose that first turret. The Ezreal and Ziggs bot lane, extremely oppressive, forcing Sleeps and Mirki under their tower and away from the CS, netting Rutgers a 1-tower lead and a 40 CS lead in the lane. So Rutgers, despite being down 3 kills, is actually up in gold by nearly 2.5K gold because of that bot lane pressure. Spawning the Rift Herald mid, they're going to try and open up the map by taking that mid lane turret, and with 3 of them there, it looks like they're going to be able to take it. They do. Alright, UCC clearing out the waves. So Rutgers now has the ability to open up the map because of that mid tower being gone. They're able to invade a little bit more safely, or at least they thought. As we're seeing Vi get caught out, she will die. The Yasuo is looking to possibly follow. Are we going to see the Sylas going down? It looks like all of UCC will remain up. It's a 2-for-0 in favor of UCC. Now, even though we are seeing UCC getting the kills, Rutgers is able to take another wave top, force that turret, or force the minions into the turret, deny that farm and push their lead, or at least stay even despite losing 2 in that trade. UCC seems to be facing this same problem that they've been facing all game, which is the ability for that bot lane to take towers and shove it in, and their inability to respond to that. Obviously, Kai'Sa having a short range compared to a lot of ADCs, it's very difficult to deal with that lane. It seems like UCC maybe just wasn't prepared in the draft to deal with this, although in their defense, not very many people, when they see an Ezreal, would expect it to be the support, and when they see the Ziggs, expect it to be the ADC. So Rutgers pulling out the cheese, pulling out the stops to take any advantage that they can in the game. Now we're in a place where it looks like neither team has particularly far vision into the other's jungle, apart from a lone ward that we're going to see from Rutgers into that blue side of the jungle of UCC. But for the most part, people are kind of respecting the line, the division of the river, and I think we're going to see a little bit more of a fight as this infernal dragon, or this earth dragon rather, comes up, as both teams are preparing for a fight here. UCC does not have Kai'Sa though, so they definitely want to wait, which does open them up to receiving a little bit of poke from this Ziggs, who's able to kind of just spam and keep UCC zoned out while that Vi works on the dragon. They see the Ezreal, looks for the chain, but he is able to escape. They're going to have to give that dragon over, and Zach missing the ult. It comes up short. Big fight going on. Big Daddy just about dead. Miraki going down. Leo Leon going down. And overall, looks like it's going to be a 2-for-0 trade in favor. Oh, maybe 3 for nothing. Actually, 4 UCC members go down as Rutgers increases their lead. Sleeps being the only one to survive. Honestly, when we see these fights, we need to see Miraki really kind of popping off. I think the game is kind of in her hands right now. Unfortunately, she's 50 CS down compared to the Ziggs, and it's difficult to kind of see how they're going to win these fights without taking that large amount of poke from Rutgers. Big Daddy actually going for a pick on this Vi. He's able to land the ult. And it looks like Vi will go down, dodges the skill shot, but Big Daddy does take her out in a nice kill over to Big Daddy. And so this is UCC's opportunity to, now that they have the advantage, they have one man up on Rutgers. They can clear out the vision in their own jungle, start to get their wards a little bit closer to the river, and from there, try and find a pick or some sort of opportunity for a team fight that will give them an advantage to take towers. Because even though they are getting the kills, again, the problem is that they haven't been able to convert those kills into objectives. And in 1 minute, we're going to see the Baron come up. We're starting to see Rutgers drop some vision into that dragon, or into that Baron pit, and also get the river scuttle. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're shoving it up, and one of the benefits of having, big solo kill from Lunatic, who's able to kill that Ezreal. And what I was just saying is, Rutgers is trying to push up those waves, trying to push up the lanes so that they can get priority for the river. But meanwhile, while UCC gets that kill, the top lane tower, the tier 2 is going down. Silas is on his way up top to try and defend against that, while the rest of UCC goes to catch this Vlad, who may have been overextended. A lot of lifesteal coming from the Vlad. Lunatic's able to kill him. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see the Sylas and the Yasuo going at it. It looks like Big Daddy will fall. Possibly, oh wait, but he does get the lifesteal, and he kills Yasuo in a great turnaround from Big Daddy, who's now 5-2. We do see Ziggs looking to clean this up. That may be all she wrote for Big Daddy. Let's see, he does dodge that bomb, gets the lifesteal. A lot of damage stays with him, but the damage does come out. That Ziggs is able to kill Big Daddy. And now we see Leo Leon going for the kill. Does force the flash out of Ziggs. The Ezreal comes out. Leo Leon trying to block for sleeps. The Lulu will die to the Vi as she comes out. Leo Leon will go down next. Lunatic will walk away with his life. We've kind of seen a lot of skirmishing in the jungle. And now we're seeing Rutgers clear out the vision in the Baron pit. They're going to start up the Baron. TP coming out from that Sylas on the Ezreal, but getting zoned out by the Ziggs. Meanwhile, Rutgers still on that Baron, going to finish that up, and UCC unable to get a pick. Meanwhile, Killian rather is on that Kaisa looking for the kill. Kaisa does get away. Do they have the damage to finish the Vladimir? It looks like they will, but can they get out? Rutgers is not going to collapse. They're going to take the Baron, they're going to reset, and they're going to look to push out the waves. And probably look for at least one inhibitor on this next push. UCC conceding the dragon to Rutgers. And, I mean, it looks like, despite UCC having the strength in some of their carries, like the LeBlanc and the Sylas, and they're able to match the side waves, Rutgers able to push out those waves. They were able to control a lot of the objectives better. And the advantages that they had, even just from the laning phase, are kind of carrying over extremely well into this mid-game portion. Alright, big team fight. The Ziggs does go down. Great ult by Big Daddy. Able to lock down that Ziggs. Looks like UCC is looking, or Rutgers rather, is looking to fight. They get on the backline. Mirki does die despite the Lulu ult, and Yasuo is not done now on Big Daddy. Able to get the lifesteal, but not enough. Yasuo on the backline now, under tower, and the Vladimir will finish off that Lulu, while Vi tries to kill Big Daddy under tower, and they will. They will find that kill. We'll see, is that actually enough to end the game? Lunatic is up, probably looking to defend the base here. And that's an ace for Rutgers. Lunatic goes down. They do get one. They get one inhibitor. They finish that top tower, looking for that second inhibitor. After this, they will most likely back, make their buys, and try and make one final push to end the game. Actually, it looks like they stay for a little bit. No, I think now they're going to back up. Big Daddy finding that Ezreal, and it looks like we'll get another pick. Now, UCC forced a turtle in this situation, really just stay in their base. They can't push out too far, and we are seeing Vladimir in the side lane, Vi and Yasuo clearing out that jungle, make sure that they have as much gold as they want for this final push. They are 11k up, and so any fight that will happen, they're going to have the advantage going into it. And we're seeing UCC try and clear out these waves as much as they can. The good thing about pushing waves that are pushing in on their own is that you can get that farm while the super minions will kill the farm that the other team would look to get. Unfortunately, you're 11k down, and so that deficit is hard to hang over. Rutgers, because they have 2 lanes pushing, because the inhibitors are down, are going to walk up through the bot lane and try and force down this last tower and then this last inhibitor. Killian grabbing that red, looking for any advantage into the last team fight. Lunatic looking for a pick, can't quite find it. Meanwhile, Rutgers is on that tower, now on the inhibitor by charging up, looking for a target, finds the ult onto Miraki. Leo Leon goes in, tries to protect her. She will fall anyway. The Yasuo now in the back line. It looks like that's 3 down for UCC. Rutgers now on the towers. Silas looking for the kill on that Vi, will find it, but it may not be enough. Steals the ult of the Ziggs. Actually, UCC able to hold on to it. Lunatic looking for the pick, will die to the Yasuo. It's now 2-on-1 Big Daddy versus the Yasuo and the Ziggs, and that will be all she wrote. With that win, Rutgers will advance out of the group stage with a 2-0 win over UCC, advance into the bracket stage and into the top 8 of the Scarlet Classic. Congratulations to Rutgers University.